Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA Finals is currently underway, but nobody cares, mate, because our AMD versus Nvidia series is coming down to the absolute wire. Nvidia is currently winning 2-1 thanks to the 5060 Ti's narrow victory over the newly released 9060 XT in last week's episode, but now AMD is out for blood. In today's episode, we have one question for you. Got wood?
What?
For the first time on this channel, we are building with wood accents using the stunning Fractal North, matching its gold accents with the Zotac 5070 Ti, and pairing these two beasts with Intel's 3900 KF. We will determine whether this pairing crushes our previous 9070 XT, 9800 X3D, all AMD machine in gaming, which one sells faster and for more profit, and more importantly, be doing a full build guide using our Wiener.
Make me sick.
Wiener dog, mate, get your mind out of the gutter and get this video to 500 likes and I will let this man drive my car to our next PC sale. Let's go!
Oh my god.
All right, Sheilas and fellas, we are so back, baby. 2 weeks ago, we hosted part 1 of this battle and built a 9070 XT 9800 X3D PC for under $1,500.
Damn, boy!
Which at the time seemed like a crazy deal. Link is down below if you want to watch that video after this one. But the one thing that we got absolutely destroyed about during that video was the GPU sag. We are on the record as anti-sag bracket, but for whatever reason, the 9070 XT was looking pretty diabolical in terms of its sag, mate. Just look at it. So to appease you all, we had to pick up a sag bracket that would work with fans underneath, and we landed on this bad boy. Link is down below. 14 bucks, and it screws into the fans, and it works great. Here is the before.
What the fuck?
And here is the after. Much better, mate. We have ordered some more in black and white, and we will start using it in extreme cases, so thanks for all of the peer pressure on this one, mate, because it was so worth it. But we aren't here to admire this past PC, mate. It's old news. We are here to build the most epic 5070 Ti anti-AMD PC that we can, so we can see whether Nvidia can end this battle once and for all.
That's what I'm talking about.
Or if AMD will do the old LeBron James chase down block and tie this bad boy up 2-2. The score is currently 2-1 Nvidia. All the previous videos are linked down below in a playlist if you want to see a recap of them. But let's get to it.
Let's go!
Introducing the parts, as mentioned, this build is anti-AMD, which means our CPU has to be Intel. And there is one thing well known in the flipping community: if someone sees the word i9, they're going to be frothing at the mouth. And we found an absolutely mega deal on the i9 13900 KF on Amazon. Used but in mint condition apparently for 269 bucks, mate.
Nice.
What an absolute deal for 24 cores and 32 threads. We got 4 of them. This absolute beast of a CPU easily clears the 9800 X3D's productivity, but in terms of gaming, the 9800 X3D is much more optimized than the i9 13900 KF, but it can definitely hold its own, mate. It was known in the beginning to have stability issues and in some cases explode, so RIP to the early adopters, mate, but a BIOS update fixed that. So the first thing we did when we installed it is to update the BIOS. So if you're going with this, make sure you do it or say goodnight to your PC. Next up, the RAM, mate. T-Force Delta, 6,000 mega transfers per second, 32 gigabytes, good old reliable ARGB edition, and because this baby is on the higher end, we are going full virgin mode, CL30, mate. We actually got this for free in a Newegg combo, so I can't give it a price right now, but the cheapest CL30 we can find on Amazon is 85 bucks, mate. It's from Oracle Raceline, which is incredible. They've actually reached out to work with us, so we'll definitely be trying this brand in the future, but right now we're gonna plug in that price. If you want to save even more money on Amazon, you can get this DDR5 RAM at CL38 timings for an incredible 67 bucks from Kingsbank, mate. They are seriously changing the game. Will you notice a difference between CL8 versus CL30? Unless you're a NASA scientist, mate, absolutely not. Just make sure it's 32 gigabytes and 6,000 mega transfers per second and you'll be fine, mate, especially for PC flipping. And now we have the M.2, mate, 1 terabyte Kingston. We may as well reach out to them because this is all we use at this point. We're giving them free advertising. It goes between 52 to 60 bucks, mate, 6,000 megabytes per second, the fastest budget M.2 you can find. But if you can find a cheaper and reliable Gen 4 brand SSD that's at least 5,000 megabytes per second, mate, just go with it. Speeds at 5,000 or above are faster than Hank when he hears the cheese cupboard open.
Bruh.
And finally, our motherboard, mate. Board prices have been so terrible that we we are now trying out eBay for this one. $99 open box, Asus Tough Gaming Z790 plus Wi-Fi. I've had great success with Asus boards in the past, even though they've had some beef with Jay's 2 cents. So I am hoping this one from eBay will be good. Comes with a Wi-Fi antenna and an IO shield already attached. Great looking board for all black builds, which we are doing today. 3 M.2 slots, USB-C, decent rear IO, but mate, for $100, absolutely incredible value, and the sellers offer a refund if it doesn't post, so not bad at all, buddy. Enough yapping about the parts, mate. Let's start building it. Grab your glizzy, unclip the protective cover, slam that thing all the way up, grab your impeccable 13900 KF, line the triangle up in the bottom left-hand corner of the CPU with the bottom left-hand corner of the CPU socket. Throw her in there harder than a Francis Ngannou overhand right. Make sure it's in nice and secure, and do not bend the pins or your board will become as useless as a potato. Slam the cover down with your sausage. Usually the protective cover won't come off at this stage until you latch it down, but the wiener is stronger than Ronnie Coleman, so what do you expect? Latch it back up and Bob's your uncle, mate. Your CPU is good to go.
Very nice.
Next up, the RAM. Line the groove up of the RAM socket with the groove up of the motherboard. Chuck it into sockets 2 and 4 and push that sucker down with your wiener, making sure you hear a click.
Yeah, baby.
Absolutely incredible stuff from the Hankster. Next up, grab your electric screwdriver. Link is in the description. We absolutely love it. Unscrew the M.2 heatsink. For the love of God, remove this protective sticker or Hank will start screaming, his head will expand, start rotating, and he will explode. Grab your glizzy, pick up your SSD with it, and throw it into the M.2 slot. You should hear it click and it should stand up to attention.
Wow.
Grab the heatsink and throw it back on, and then Michelle Obama is your mama, baby. You are good to go. Finally, these Intel boards don't come with a backplate, so we got to install this mounting hardware. And this 13900 KF is hotter than the Weenie Man after an 8-hour Rich Piana bicep session, so we got to go with an AIO. And we are going with this Frozen Warframe from Thermalright, mate. It has gold accents, which will match our case and GPU, and importantly, it has an LCD screen, mate. It's gonna look absolutely incredible once we throw it on, and it is $62. Incredible value. But mate, it's been a couple of weeks and I've been having withdrawals using these generic fans. Let's throw these off, and yes, you guessed it, Infinity fans. These are Segatep HB12s. We got them when they were on sale, 3 for $15, mate. They are now $20, so keep an eye out for the sale. I have some cheaper options off Amazon listed in the description below. Let's install them. And look at this, mate. We live for Infinity. If I ever say a single bad thing about Infinity fans, just know I have been kidnapped and replaced by someone. The AIO will come with this mounting hardware that has this backplate in it that has double-sided tape on it. Remove the protective tape and throw it on the back side of the motherboard. Easy peasy like lemon squeezy. Next up, grab these spacers. There will be a red one and a blue one. Grab the blue one for Intel, mate. Throw them over the standoffs, then grab your mounting brackets. Make sure you insert them in this orientation, and bing bang boom, you have a fully completed motherboard ready to throw into the case. Lord have mercy, I'm excited for this one. Woo!
Calm down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I have one big question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Got wood, mate?
What? Oh, hell no! Look at this distinguished gentleman.
Because we've got a whole lot of it. That's right, this build has 2 themes, wood and gold, baby. You've seen the AIO, let's introduce the card, mate. The 5070 Ti with 16 gigabytes of VRAM from Zotac. Before we get into it, let's see if we can finally get a good sticker peel.
Nice.
You suck.
My lord, mate, just unsubscribe at this point. We will never be able to peel these things for you ASMR lovers. Anyway, I am on record saying this. This is the best looking card on the market right now. Zotac with their gold accents on this silver version, and even on the white version, it just looks absolutely incredible, mate. Even the Zotac logo lights up blue. Now, you're probably sitting there saying, all right, mate, here goes this filthy liar saying he got this card open box for like $24, and that's where you're wrong, mate. We got it for $8 Micro Center refurbished, baby. What a deal!
Liar!
I am joking, mate. At this time, we couldn't find anything, so we got the cheapest card available for this battle. The MSRP for this card is $750, and we paid a despicable $824, mate.
Bruh.
You make me sick, Nvidia. So we got to overcome this if we want to beat the 9070 XT, because we got that bad boy for $629 open box. It's usually $699 for that particular card, and $599 MSRP, but mate, that does not exist anymore. It is now time for the case. I have been dreaming of building in this case since the moment I laid eyes on it, and it's finally here. The Fractal North Black Edition with this stunning wood grain at the front. Some of the wood grain PCs are a bit tacky, but this one, mate, chef's kiss. Mwah! It is one of the best rated airflow cases out there, and to top it off, gold accents on the legs and on the power button, mate. We are in love. The front I/O has two USBs, a USB-C, but the only downside is it has no ARGB and only two fans at the front, mate, but we've fixed that. Let's peel this bad boy first. Ah, so refreshing. And when we take the glass off, mate, we have installed two infinity fans. There was only space to mount one reverse blade on the bottom, and we have the exhaust on the back, and we will throw the radiator up the top with two more, mate, so 4 infinity fans total. And when we combine that with the LCD screen on the AIO and throw in an ARGB fan hub controller to spice those colors up, this thing is going to look absolutely incredible, mate. This is right up our alley in terms of aesthetics. And the great thing is this case is usually $150, but nah, not this time, mate. You guessed it. Micro Center open box, $119. We saved a cool $30, and when we got it, it had not even been opened, mate. Give it here. It's our case now. What? Grab your completed motherboard, throw it in harder than a Michael Vick 70-yard pass to Deshaun Jackson, and start screwing. Next up, installing the cooler, and we are using this Intel stock cooler, baby.
Oh, hell no!
Got it for free, and it's gonna cool the 13900 KF with ease. We are joking, mate. Into the trash you go so you can't hurt anybody anymore. We are gonna grab our infinity laced LCD AIO, and it's just gonna slide right up the top here. It screws into the mounting holes up the top. Incredibly easy to install. We love it. Good heavens, mate, we've missed infinity. Look at this.
Great success.
And it's time to get pasty. Grab your thermal paste, mate. We are using this MX6 one because I misplaced the thermal right one that it came with. It's all the same, mate. Just use the free one. Let's do a little X marks the spot. Ah, screw it, mate. Just splotch the whole thing on there. Yes, sir. This thing is going to be nice and cool. You do not need this much paste, mate. We are just a degenerate who likes to lather the CPU up for no good reason.
Stop it. Get some help.
For God's sakes, mate, remove this protective sticker or Shohei Ohtani will strike out your favorite baseball team, hit a home run against you, and then explode. The LCD screen sits on magnetically, so take it off while you install the pump. Line the screws up with the mounting bracket and screw it down little by little each side until it's on nice and tight. Remove the protective sticker and look at that, mate. She is looking stunning. We are back with everyone's favorite segment, wiring with Weenie Man. We are starting off with everyone's most hated USB port for the front I/O, located on the right of the motherboard underneath the 24-pin connector. Throw it in with the force of Mace Windu, but don't bend the pins, mate, or you will get Crohn's disease.
What?
And your USB-C connector is located just above. This thing will click in nice and easy. No wazzers, mate. Next up, the F panel, and even though we love this case aesthetically, we hate the separate F panels, mate. What are you doing, Fractal? It's located in the bottom right-hand corner and has the instructions for installation right underneath it. Throw them in as you see here and you'll be able to turn your PC on with ease. We forgot to film the HD audio, mate. Don't judge me. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. Go see our previous video on how to install it, but it's easy. Next up, we are installing this ARGB fan hub. These usually go from $7 to $15 off Amazon, but this isn't available anymore, so I linked a similar one. It comes with a remote control, mate. We love it. Plug all the ARGB connectors in and throw your SATA cable from the PSU in to power it, and then just use double-side tape to stick it to the case. Some of them are magnetic, which is really helpful. And now it's time for the power supply. We are a broken record, mate. A PVR 800 watts, 80 plus gold, old reliable, tier C on the PSU tiers list, which is all you need for these gaming PCs. Runs like a dream. Plenty of power for the 5070 Ti. It's non-modular, but this case has plenty of room to stuff cables down the bottom, so no issues here, mate. Remove the PSU mounting bracket from the case, throw it in harder than King Kong shoving a tree down Godzilla's mouth, and start screwing. Finally, grab your 24-pin connector from your power supply, run it through the side, and plug it in just above your USB ports. We ain't showing the 4-pin CPU connector because it's hard to get a good angle, but it's in the top left corner of the motherboard. See our previous videos if you want to see it in detail. Here we go, mate. Hank is here and he has his violin playing hamster anxiety support animal that he won many weeks ago for selling some baller PCs. And mate, Roger Ebert rated the 2 GPU installation segment as the best thing ever made on TV, so we have thrown the 9070 XT out of its machine so we could throw it in at the same time today.
That's why he's the GOAT!
I can literally hear you all screaming from excitement through the screen, mate. You are welcome.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Find your top PCIe slot, unclip the latch, and let these Romeo and Juliet GPUs say goodbye to each other. AMD and Nvidia, mate, they hate each other, but both are looking incredible. Let's do this. And we are done, mate. Nice and easy. Weenie walking past with his violin hamster. Mate, this isn't a sad time. This is a happy time. Get out of here. Screw the cards in while you hold them up to avoid GPU sag. Although the 9070 XT GPU sag seems to be inevitable. The 5070 Ti has an adapter you plug in, which leads to 2 8-pin PCIe's down the bottom. Then the 9070 XT has 2 8-pin connectors, so just throw them straight in. And Oprah is your long-lost auntie, mate. Let's turn these suckers on. In typical Hank fashion, he is making this about himself and blocking the way. Mate, we got a battle on our hands. Give me 2 shakes and a spin and I'll give you a treat. Psych, get out of the way, mate. Let's turn these babies on. And look at this, mate. I can't even see the AMD one because this fella's sniffer is in the way. He's lucky that we love him and he's cute because we're about to start wrestling. And Hank is gone, and my oh my, ladies and gentlemen, look at these things. I know I say this every video, but these are the 2 best PCs we have ever built, mate. I am in love. Now here is the 9070 XT, and my god, mate, look at that sag. It's actually incredible how bad this is. What is ASRock doing here? Here it is with the bracket, mate, and while it's a bit of an eyesore, it does look a lot better, but get this garbage out of here, mate. This PC had its time. It's Nvidia's day today. Holy moly, mate, look at this thing. In my eyes, this is perfect. The gold trim of the legs matched with the buttons, GPU, and LCD screen mixed with the wood accents and the orange fans. Mate, I'm throwing out my old dream gaming PC and building one of these. Mark my words. I absolutely adore this thing. I'm not a huge fan that you can only install 1 fan down the bottom, but there is a Fractal North XL that has room for more, so maybe we build with this in the future, mate. Using the remote, we're going to change the color. Here it is in team green, and man, I'm not really feeling this color. Ooh, beautiful. Red looks fantastic, mate. Definitely Darth Maul type themes with this bad boy. But I know there's a few 10-year-olds screaming for ARGB puke, mate. And here it is. My God, I'm about to be sick. This case just does not suit it, mate. It has to be orange or red in my opinion. But let me know down below, did we cook or are we cooked? But looking at these things together, mate, I am team orange on this. Nvidia and Intel takes the cake on looks, but I'm interested in what you guys think. Moving over to the finances, the AMD machine went for 1,498 buckaroonies, which equals all of these currencies on the right here. I'm not reading them out again, mate. Go look at the previous video. But how much was Team Green? Even though the GPU was a bit more expensive, thanks to going with Intel and a cheaper motherboard, this thing cost us 1,580 US bucks, which is 2,160 Canadian Club Sours, 2,425 Aussie Echidnas, 1,384 European Summers, 1,166 Great British Bake Offs, 135,361 Indian Hotties with a Dotty, 37,920,000 Vietnamese banana trees, 23,700,000 Lebanese Paulies from Fat Pizza, 6,320 Polish sausages, 235,420 Kenyan marathon runners, 1,406,200 Zimbabwean clamshells, 228,310 Konnichiwas, 7,189 Romanian gladiators, 62,020 Turkish flatbreads, 7.9 billion Venezuelan big booty baddies, 7,110 Malaysian Grand Prix, 124,820 Russian furry hats, 3,160 squirrel skins, 0.01485 bitcoins, 0.623 ethereums, and 2 middle fingers from myself because I hate you all. Stop making me do this, please. So before we announce the winner of which of these is actually better, which sold first and which sold for more profit, we're going to test both these bad boys out and see whether it's worth paying the extra $90. The 5060 Ti was miles ahead of the 9060 XT in terms of both gaming and use case. So let's see if we have the same thing here, mate. Let's go. Time for some benchmarks, ladies and gentlemen. Keep in mind that the 9070 XT has the better CPU for gaming with the 9800X3D and all that 3D V cache versus the 13900K with the 5070 Ti, but Jay's 2 cents and other creators have stressed that at resolutions like 4K, this will barely make a difference. It's more for lower resolution, CPU intensive games, and mate, we just spent 1,600 bucks on these PCs, so we are benchmarking at 4K. Grow up 1440p. The second caveat is that like with the 9060 XT, I was once again getting encoder overloaded using OBS, this time with the 9070 XT for 4K gaming in COD. I tried for 30 minutes to fix it and no luck, mate. We had to use AMD software to record, and then on top of that, you can't bring that into Premiere Pro. So once again, in terms of recording and streaming, the 9070 XT is straight up doo-doo compared to the 5070 Ti. But maybe it's just a skill issue on my end. Let me know down in the comments if you're able to stream on OBS just fine with the 9070 XT. Now, we will link proper in-depth benchmarks down below, but in general, the 5070 Ti is said to be 5% better in overall performance, 20% better in ray tracing, and DLSS is 1 billion times better than FSR, mate. For our benchmarks, we're starting with Marvel Rivals. It's my favorite game now, hands down. We are starting with no upscaling at 4K and high settings with no ray tracing to see the card's raw performances. And the 5070 Ti runs Marvel Rivals with ease at 4K, mate. We are Jeff because he is basically the Shark version of Hank, and we are getting an average of 97 FPS and temps of around 70 degrees on the GPU and CPU, which is bearable, but the 13900K is one hot fella. Next, we move over to the 9070 XT and 9800X3D machine, and the temperatures are much better, but it's not even close, mate. Average of 74 FPS, and you can actually feel the difference this time. We are still crushing it with Jeff, mate, because we are a sweaty virgin, but the 5070i takes the cake on this one. Next, we jack the settings to ultra with ray tracing and DLSS and FSR set to ultra performance and frame generation on, so we are going balls to the wall 4K, mate. And the 5070 Ti embarrasses the 9070 XT. 255 average frames per second on the anti-AMD machine versus 177 frames per second for Team Red. And the upscaling with DLSS looks 50 times better compared to AMD, which looks really grainy. And importantly, we got the runner-up MVP, which is called the SVP on the Nvidia machine in a close loss. Look at those stats, mate. We are goated with Nvidia. AMD, get out of here for Marvel Rivals. Next up, Fortnite 4K performance mode, so DirectX X12, everything set to low, but epic view distance and no upscaling. This is what the 10-year-old Fortnite tweakers are playing apparently. Keep in mind, you can play this game on a lemon, and it's a bit more CPU intensive at lower resolutions, but at 4K, we are getting close to 100% GPU utilization, so it's a fair test, I guess. The 5070 Ti is getting a cool 242 frames per second, mate, while the 9070 XT is getting 225 FPS. Barely a difference, mate, and OBS worked for Fortnite, so if that's all you play, 9070 XT is probably a better bang for buck at this choice. However, if you did crank DLSS or FSR, you'd probably get up to 300, mate, but who cares? Seriously. We are already clapping cheeks on these raw resolutions before we get put down by Peter Griffin, who then gets bodied by Hank Hill, mate. I never thought I'd say that sentence in my life. Fun fact though, we actually named Hank after Hank Hill because I loved King of the Hill growing up, mate. That and also Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad. He is the GOAT, mate. I need to buy that Hank Hill skin. Finally, Call of Duty Warzone. We used to play this game all the time with my mates in Australia, but when I moved, I have no mates anymore, so we are absolutely booty cheeks now. We have it set to ultra graphics, so one under the highest graphics setting, which is extreme, no upscaling or frame gen, and Team Red wins this one. Average of 112 FPS versus the 5070 Ti versus 128 for the 9070 XT. Quite a surprising victory. But then if you want to go balls to the wall by throwing everything to ultra, turning ray tracing on with DLSS or FSR set to performance and frame gen on, Nvidia is at 205 average FPS, while AMD only jumps up to 162. So if you like your fake frames, go with Nvidia here, mate.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
So if we are basing the winner purely on benchmarks, if you are looking for the best bang for buck pure performance gaming GPU, if we take the cheapest 9070 XT gaming card brand new at $699 versus the cheapest 5070 Ti at $829 for pure gaming, no upscaling and no other use cases, yeah, get the AMD card. But mate, I am paying the extra $129 any day for the much better upscaling abilities and the encoder, mate.
You disgust me.
It is just hands down so much better on Nvidia for gaming, streaming, and content creation. Plus, looking on Facebook Marketplace right now, not only are there multiple deals available for $750 in my area, but we just purchased one of these off a dude for $675 a few days ago, and it's running great in another machine. So if you do some deal hunting and find one for MSRP or lower, swoop it up, mate. Meanwhile, I've been looking for some 9070 XTs on Facebook Marketplace, and there hasn't been anything cheaper than $650. So that's a bust right there. But ladies and gentlemen, we are a PC flipping channel, so now it's time for the real test. Which one will sell first? Well, mate, a week went by with the price starting at $1,999, which was very delusional on my part. We dropped it down to $1,899, and again, it wasn't even close, mate. Nobody wanted it. So after a week and literally no serious messages, we dropped the price to $1,799 for each machine, and as of Tuesday the 17th of June, we have a winner. Drum roll, please. You guessed it, Nvidia, mate. It won again, and it wasn't even close. The guy who purchased the PC was super nice and asked a ton of questions just to be sure that it was good, scooped it up, said that he loved the machine, and just asked if it was normal for hot air to be spewing out the top of it, which for the 13900 KF, you can basically use it as a space heater, mate, so it's normal, and the temperatures in the games looked good. He gave me a solid review. Thanks, mate. You are the absolute GOAT. In terms of AMD, holy airball, mate. It's still sitting on my desk right now, gathering dust. Hank's using it as a bed at this point. There is one guy who said he'd pick it up, but he's cancelled on me 4 times, talking about coming to pick it up in his Maserati, mate. All right, I get it. I'm a broke boy. You're broke. I even offered to meet him halfway, but he's busy, so we'll see if he grabs it. To top that off, the other AMD PC from last week is still sitting as well.
You suck.
It's apparently just sold, and someone is picking it up early tomorrow, but it's taken twice the time that the Nvidia machine did, and I've been hurt before, mate, so I'm not making any promises to myself. So it's clear that AMD takes another fat L in PC flipping and PC gaming, mate, and it is now 3-1 Nvidia. Now, I can hear a lot of people saying, oh, Weenie man, Nvidia is evil though. Bruh. Don't start, mate. AMD is doing the same thing Nvidia is doing despite watching them do it first and getting destroyed for it. Not sticking to MSRP, not providing cards for reviewers, not keeping cards in stock properly. I don't care about company politics, mate. Just get the card you want, pay a price that seems reasonable to you, and don't listen to idiots like me and others on Reddit and other platforms saying, oh, you got ripped off, mate. Live your life for God's sakes. Anyway, mate, sorry for getting so passionate, but we are running out of time in this episode, so to start the next one off, we will do a recap of all the PCs we've sold from this and previous episodes and whether we have fully erased our debt yet. And yes, I will say our total profit in all of your currencies. Give me a break, mate. But as always, Weenie make sale, Weenie get toy. And today we have a doozy. He's already crying, and for good reason, because we got him a 7-foot snake we won at the fair, mate. I am 6'5", 225 pounds of ripped muscle, and this snake is bigger than me, mate. And now our little slinker is getting it for his incredible PC flipping prowess. I hope you liked the episode, and get out of here, mate. Me and the Weenie love ya.
Spin. Spin. One more spin. One more spin. Come on. Spin. Alright, no spinning.